I I would like to suggest a contingency plan with that no cut clause. I'm willing and interested in doing a no cut clause, but only if we ensure that he is, living up to his responsibility for the Monarchs. If he, for whatever reason, due to mental, constraints or difficulties,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's quite stressful, going through what he has just gone through. But if for any reason he starts to miss practice or miss
Mm-hmm.
games more than 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
then we would definitely have to consider cutting at that
Mm-hmm.
point. So we can have a no cut clause,
Mm-hmm.
but again,
Okay.
there would be a contingency that
Okay.
that if they're due to any kind of issues that he may be having, if he stops showing up, then we
Mm-hmm.
we have to definitely
I don't
consider cutting.
absolutely. I'm hearing what you're saying. My sense with Ryan is that he is in a bit of a depressed state,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because of this situation. It was
Right.
so serious, and he was taken out of the thing he absolutely loves doing. And
I totally understand that.
he is he has always loved working with the Monarchs, and I'm excited to report that there's been a large number of fans that turn out in spite of
Mm-hmm.
the legal situation.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows that he carries a lot, and he has also had a lot of good team building as he's been
Mm-hmm.
a part of the team, and
Mm-hmm.
people really enjoy him. Although there's been some bad press, he really wants to get back with the team, and I
Yeah.
think that that's going to alleviate a part of the depression
I
that
think
he's
so too.
experiencing.
I definitely agree with you in saying that coming back to some kind of normalcy in his his
Mm-hmm.
career will definitely lift him from that level of depression. But I definitely want to make sure that we're still realistic about how
Mm-hmm.
long these types of things can linger,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes how long these things can affect a player. And I know Ryan is very resilient individual,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to be like very realistic about how this happens, like things that we have no control over in the media,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, or just
And
things
with
pop up, and we have to make sure that we're aware of, I mean, people come to the forefront and say all kinds of things, and because
mm-hmm.
he has this reputation now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we just want to make sure that he understands that it is still going to be a bumpy road, even though I
Mm-hmm.
think, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of his depression will be alleviated by getting out there and playing the game again.
And I think too, with the PR person,
Mm-hmm.
we can create she or he doubt
Mm-hmm.
as we go forward.
Mm-hmm. I think we were definitely looking for. I agree, like the PR person can help,
Mm-hmm.
highlight some of his successes. But I think this is important to the league as well.
Okay.
That more than just um, talking about his accomplishments, but really getting him out and engaged in the community is going to be, you know, um, very much important to us
Mm-hmm.
and to the league.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that he puts, that good foot forward to,
Mm-hmm.
redeem himself with this, thing lingering, and then, give back to the community in as
Mm-hmm.
many ways as possible. And we want to support him in that effort as well.
There was in the past, the length of his contract has included 10 days working at a training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you are talking about? Getting back in the community and part of that whole.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Working with colleges and other schools.
He.
Just a lot of visibility, even maybe working with some campaigns against, domestic
Sure.
violence
Sure.
or, other issues related. Just, I mean, I think it
I
would
think
be
that'd be
healthy.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
do too, and I think that he is very willing to do that. He wants to work as long as he can for the Monarchs.
right.
So we're looking for a long-term relationship with you, and so I think we can definitely accommodate that.
Okay.
We'll have to put a number of days and that kind of thing. And I think
Right.
that could be a very positive. We can bring a very positive spin
I
to
think we
this.
can too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just recap a little bit. We talked
Okay.
about the no cut clause, and you're okay with um,
It'll be a
with us,
contingency
yeah, a
plan.
contingency plan for that.
I'd like to see a short-term contingency plan. I think, right, I'm confident in him as a player, as an
Mhm.
athlete, as a human being. He's going to bounce back. So I'd like to see something, a short-term contingency plan. And in lieu of a higher salary, the signing bonus.
Yeah, we talked
Had
about the
briefly
sign.
talked about that.
Right, we did briefly talk about it, and again, I mean, it's not something that the Monarchs want to engage in. I mean, it definitely has been an issue for the Monarchs to even consider bringing him back with the way that the league has viewed his what they call moral conduct. So, eh, giving him a signing bonus on top of that just would not bode well, not with the board, not with the Monarchs, and definitely not in the public eye. We're willing to give him a slightly higher salary if he is willing to do a no tide contract. So he was at 3 million. We're willing to do 3.15 to 3.2 million um, if he's willing to
Go for
a no tide contract.
a no tide.
So, and again,
Okay.
these things, there can be contingency plans to all of these items, just because I think we're both at a point where we're just filling out what it's going to look like. I know that you say he has a lot of fans, and I believe he has a lot of fans. We all believe that, which is why the Monarchs want him. But at this time, we have seen some backlash to the publicity. We're not able to sell any of his T-shirts. All stores are bringing T-shirts and all memorabilia, returning them, saying they can't even give it away at this point. So it's really tough for us to find out to figure out what the value of bringing this player on. We know his athletic ability and that value, but we are a franchise, and so we're really interested in also looking at other areas where we know a athlete can bring value. That's the publicity. That's these other items. Um,
So this is really a time for him to prove himself all over again. It's a fresh start.
It's a fresh start.
However, he needs to really prove himself again. And once he's proven himself through the contingency plan, then he would be able to go forward and get a higher salary or be tied to his peers. Get some of the things that he wants.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly.
Do you
what
have
we're
any
thinking.
idea time wise what you're looking at?
Well,
with contingency
we see
plan?
that the original contract was for 2 years.